may have noticed there was no rambling while ambling this morning. I did record one, but I was not happy with it, so I figured instead of putting up something I wasn't happy with, I would instead try to summarize my thoughts more effectively and more coherently at a later date. It is now a later date, or later time anyway. General gist of it was as follows. Don't lie to your attorney. Yesterday, I had a court appearance. My client swore to me up and down that there was no criminal record of any sort, no arrests, no convictions. Opposing counsel, very first thing, doing it, talking to between the attorneys as to like any possibility of settlements or anything like that. Opposing counsel was crowing like a rooster that my client had not one but two convictions. Turns out my client thought that because she had a record expunged that they no longer counted. Well, guess what? That stuff can still be found, and the judges, I'm assuming law enforcement as well, will still have access to and will still see it. It's just the general public can't get those records, I guess. So like if it won't show up on your DMV. In California, there's a DMV criminal record that, you can pull showing convictions. It won't show up on that. But I hate to break it to you, buddy boy Ben, that stuff is never gone. Never gone. The other thing is, the second thing is that people draw wrong conclusions based on not understanding all the data that goes into it. Yesterday, again, I got a great result for my client. My client was very happy, gave us a 5-star review on Yelp. And it took a long time there. When they don't call cases like if you have a 9 o'clock case, we ended up going in front of the judge at 1:30 for the actual hearing portion. Anyway, she had a friend with her who kept in her ear. Her friend said that the opposing party will have to pay for something, and I said, well, no, they won't. The judge, if the judge orders that particular thing, then both parties will have to pay for it. It's going to be both parties. Well, no, I've seen the judge order the one party to pay for it. Yeah. This was like a last minute client. We got this client at 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, or the day of Wednesday, and her hearing was at 9 a.m. on Thursday, so none of this is my fault. We're like, well, my client didn't file an income and expense declaration, therefore the judge isn't going to make any decisions based on the economics because there's nothing to base it on. If, long story short, if like father makes all the money and mother is a stay-at-home mom, then father's going to have to pay for some of these things because he makes all the money. In this particular instance, though, nobody knows. The judge doesn't know. It's not in front of him. So that was my point. This gal made an observation, but it was based on incomplete data because they don't always say why. The judge doesn't always say why he made that decision. Anyway, and the final thing is just I take great amusement in reading my comment section. It's mainly comedy at this point. I still have people arguing in my comment section that the Castle Doctrine somehow applies to what happened in Houston. And it absolutely does not, in any way, shape, or form, apply. There is no basis for the Castle Doctrine to apply to what happened in Houston on that raid. And I can see you all just getting all frustrated right now. Boy! And here's why. In the simplest terms I can possibly say it. Castle Doctrine is a defense against prosecution. Castle Doctrine is a defense against prosecution. It is a legal defense against prosecution. It's not a right, it's not anything like that. It is a legal defense against prosecution. That's all it is. It is a defense against prosecution. I don't know smaller words for that, but it's a defense against prosecution. You can't prosecute dead people. Therefore, the two people who died in that raid, in that warrant raid in Houston, will never be prosecuted. They will never and can never raise the Castle Doctrine. It doesn't apply. It's not going to come up in any subsequent proceedings. No one is going to say the Castle Doctrine allowed them to. They may say that, depending on the circumstances, they may say that, you know, they didn't know. They may use a lot of the logic that goes into the Castle Doctrine to minimize the negligence or the misfeasance or malfeasance of the two people in the home, depending. But it's not a Castle Doctrine situation. And you will never be, you watching this video will never be in the same position that those people were in. You won't. And I can say that with pretty good confidence, because that situation is very uncommon. You'd hear about it in the news, because you heard about this one in the news. It's a very rare experience, and there's 320 million people in the U.S., or 330 depending on, I don't know, somewhere in there. And two people out of 330 million people had this happen to them in this particular manner, where it was allegedly, I haven't verified this, but allegedly it was plainclothes officers conducting the SWAT raid, or the warrant raid. And let's just pretend, let's just arguendo say that they didn't announce that they were the police, that they didn't say police warrant or anything like that. Arguendo. I don't know. That's not going to happen to you. And if that happens to you, obviously you'll have to deal with it at that time. I know that 99.9% of you are keyboard warriors, and you're going to tell how you kill somebody who shot your dog. And I know, I've been there. I mean, it's an emotional thing. But life is different than the internet. So, my advice still stands. I stand behind my advice 100%. Do not shoot at the police. If you're aware it's the police at all, if you even believe it's the police, if you have the slightest inclination it's the police, don't shoot. Don't hold a firearm, don't grab it, don't reach for it, don't have anything in your hands, don't give them an excuse to kill you. Don't give them an excuse to kill you. I don't know why everybody seems to balk at this suggestion. This is the best advice anybody has ever given you, bar none. Don't give the police a reason to kill you. Fuck. I don't know why you guys want to fight me so hard on it. If you think you have a justifiable defense to start shooting at the police, I'm going to tell you, you probably don't. You probably don't. Your odds of winning are slim to none. Your odds of living are also pretty low. So, there you go. Thanks for watching. Sorry for no rambling while ambling. Have a good day.